What's going on, everybody? My name is Daniel Augustin, and on today's episode of Multi-Hyphenate AF, Hugh Freeze has been fired after losing 10-3 to Kentucky. You know, while watching that game, I thought to myself that this is it right here. I thought to myself, this is it. You can't get in front of the microphone when it's time for your post-game press conference and you're talking about, we're right there now. We're right there. A couple plays and now so Hugh Freeze, I don't care what Jackson Arnold can't do. You mean to tell me you can't figure out how to beat Kentucky? I know Kentucky plays everybody in the SEC incredibly hard. That team, they struggle to get wins, which is why they can't be the one to beat you. I understand, though, that they're in the SEC. They're going to play hard. But there's no way Hugh Freeze can lose that game when he's already on the hot seat. From what I understand, I don't have any stats in front of me, but from what I understand, Hugh Freeze was roughly 6-16, either against top 25, or against SEC competition. Either one, whichever one the stat is, it's unacceptable. It's not going to fly. You can't be at one of the top tier college football programs in arguably the best conference with those kinds of results. So it was time for him to go. My main question about Hugh Freeze being let go, I'm very happy anytime I see a mid-coach getting fired. I'm very happy about that. I think it's insane how much money they're making for how little results they're bringing back to the fans, to the brand, to the logo, to the shield, to the game, That matters too. How much do you even care about this game? Because we're going to see it in your results. Bringing in Jackson Arnold, to me, that was already a sign of like, you don't get it. You don't get it. So, very interesting to see what direction this program heads in right now. My main question about Auburn and this opening is this. How does the Auburn job opening affect the LSU job opening? How does it affect the Florida Gators job opening? I could bring up Penn State, but I'm going to stay in the SEC for a bit here. I think what it does mainly, it creates more safe landing spots to where Florida does not end up having to make a decision where they get the wrong guy because the wrong guy is just going with whatever is working for him. Oh, they're loving me right now. We just happened to have a really great interview. I really knocked it out of the park, gave a couple of really great compliments to the secretary and the staff and so on and so forth. And everything was just, and I just happened to get the job, even though I'm a top tier mid candidate. I'm the middest of all mids, but I'm the top tier of the mids. So I'm now the head coach at the University of Florida, which that's the type of thing that should never happen. It should never happen. That position should be held in such high regard that even the person applying for it knows good and damn well they deserve it. Florida is a place for somebody to come in and dominate for the next 6 years. I foresee that Florida is going to be looking to hire Steve Spurrier Jr. in the future. And so I say like this. The Auburn job opening is ultimately the saving grace for the University of Florida. I'm thinking that the coaches that should have nothing to do with Florida, the Eli Drinkowitz of the world, this is my opinion, of course. You can tell me in the comments if you just disagree with me that much. But Eli Drinkowitz is not winning the big games while he's at Missouri. I don't see why that translates over to you being at Florida. Great coaching figures out how to win games they're not supposed to win. Louisville doesn't have as many talented athletes as Miami, but Jeff Brom is a good coach. I'd like to see a guy like Jeff Brom go to Penn State. Less demanding, even though they want more out of their program, but the conference is less demanding. There's more margin for error in that conference this year looks great for Ohio State and Indiana. But that's the type of conference where that Indiana spot, that second team spot, is a toss-up between Indiana and Oregon or Michigan and maybe one other school right there. That's the Penn State school. So I think that's a great opportunity there for a guy like Jeff Brom. But the Eli Drinkowitz of the world, the Jed Fishes of the world, guys who aren't really winning those big games at the programs they're at now, they should not come to the University of Florida. Florida needs a winner, a winning coach who understands how to win, how to create winning situations, not how to just put guys on the team on the field, not how to just try to get guys to be disciplined. Yeah, all of that stuff matters, but you got to figure out, oh damn. So we had a plan at the start of this game to win this game like this, but they're taking that away from us. So we need to play like this. Can we do that? Are we prepared to do that? You know what? Damn, we didn't necessarily prepare that much this week, but I know how to talk to these guys and how to get these guys to believe we can, and I know how to get the coordinators and everybody to be on the same page so that we can make an in-game decision here and change things up and win this game and figure out how to not get caught up in this kind of scenario again, how to be more prepared for if another team tries to approach us in a way where they match our strength and so on and so forth. Coaches who tend to lose these big games, these are coaches who don't think about these kinds of things. The Deion Sanders of the world. These are coaches who do not think about how do I win the game versus just going out there to just ball, baby. I'm just going to ball. That's Deion. And that's why Colorado be losing. Because after guys make a couple good plays, they just look at it like, I'm out balling, boy. No, you got 4 quarters. You got 4 quarters to go. So I think this job opening, this is the best thing that could have happened for the University of Florida, for LSU. And I just want to add in one tidbit. I find it so interesting that so many people are talking about LSU being the school. No, LSU is actually the best job. After hearing the governor's comments, do people still feel that way? I personally think what the governor said is correct. I think he's right. Coaches should earn it. They should earn that pay. None of these coaches should be getting more than Kirby Smart. If I was an AD at any one of these schools, as far as I'm concerned, it's a much bigger deal for you to have this position than for me to have you. Because a majority of you mid-ass coaches can't figure out how to win at Missouri any damn way. You can't figure out how to win at Washington any damn way. And you just happen to get as far as you can get, and then your ass fall off because you don't know how to actually win those big games. You need me. I can keep fucking around and hiring this person and that person because my baseball program is doing great. My basketball program is doing great. My softball program is doing great. So we'll take some time to figure things out over here. So the University of Florida, in my opinion, has a tremendous opportunity here to really get the right guy in here. And while I was watching the game, this will be my last thought here. While I was watching the game, I forget who the guy's name was. I think it was Thamel or Nakos or one of these guys, one of the ESPN reporters or whatever, had a quick little sideline interview where he was talking about the Florida head coaching job, and he was saying how, he just put out these 4 same names again. The Eli Drinkowitz, the Jed Fishes, who were the other 2 names? Lane Kiffin and one more, Jeff Brom. And essentially he said that, those are the guys. Those are the 4 guys. And it felt too official. I don't know why this would have even been announced on ESPN. It's almost like Florida put out that announcement. It's disappointing. If it's only going to be out of those 4 guys, I want it to be Lane Kiffin or Jeff Brom. I'm going to keep it 1,000% right now. I don't want Jed Fish. I do not want Eli Drinkowitz. At least with Jeff Brom, I see a guy who can figure out how to approach a game differently. And that's very important. I'm really looking for a guy who can develop quarterbacks. That concerns me about Lane Kiffin. I don't see him as a quarterback developer. I see him as a guy who knows how to bring in talent and a guy who maybe knows how to talk to people, get them to cut loose and feel confident about themselves. But we're going to see. Ultimately, I'm happy about this job opening. I'm sick of seeing these mid-tier ass coaches continue to be mid and continue to ruin these programs' good name. I'll say this. I'll take Lane and Jeff Brom over Drinkwitz or Jedd Fisch any day of the week. And I wouldn't be surprised if I end up seeing John Gruden go to Auburn. I'm happy about more job openings in the SEC in general because of the fact that I want to see a guy like John Gruden succeed.